rolling hills.
We hope you brought your sleeping bags and pillows. And don't forget your flashlights. Everyone, please acknowledge your cabin leaders, as they have worked very hard to keep you safe in their cabin. And please be on your best behavior, because we will be roasting s'mores later tonight. Hey, where's Landon? Shouldn't he be here by now? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. He's in the camp attic looking for a fun campfire song. Oh, okay. In the meantime, what do you think we should do? Well, we could listen to our amazing fellow camp counselor leaders' amazing guitar songs, Chloe and Seth. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, about that. We're gonna have a little change of plans.
What?
I found this old, spooky-looking book in the attic.
It says it's by this author named Janaea Willadahl. All right, let's read it. All right, sure. Whoa. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Sabrina who did not like to do as she was told. Sabrina, eat your pickled poppers. No.
It was like that with everything.
Sabrina, put your peewee-jeewees on.
No.
Sabrina, bring this basket of yum-yums to Wisewell at the end of Hodgepogde Forest.
And of course, Sabrina said, no. There was only one thing that worked with Sabrina.
The thing that mothers never like to do.
But sometimes they have to. She bribed her.
Sabrina, if you bring the basket to Wisewell, I'll give you a whole plate of Hunky Chunkies when you get back.
Okay.
But there's one thing.
What?
You must not venture into Hodgepogde Forest.
I know.
I'm serious, Sabrina. It's been full of strange monsters since the Dimpy Dumpy times when the Moonbow Travelers buried their flicker rockers there.
I know, and turned all of the animals of the forest into strange beasts. I'm going now, Mother.
Why do I get the feeling that she's not going to listen to me?
Sabrina set off down Duncan Road until she got to the edge of town, where she veered off down Tuss Trail towards Wisewell's cottage at the edge of Hodgepogde Forest. What a weird story.
Tuss Trail is a long, windy path that, in autumn, becomes overgrown with sticklebush branches.
And it was autumn. But Hodgepogde Forest was next to the trail, and there were no stickle bushes beneath the trees.
It would be much nicer to walk in the shade. I'll just walk along the edge of the forest. What harm could that do?
Sabrina had only been walking in the forest for a short while when she heard a strange rustling.
It's probably my imagination.
But it wasn't. Sabrina's footsteps had awakened the Sleeposaurus. Sleeposauruses prefer not to be awakened. Ever.
And when they wake up, they're usually very hungry.
What's the matter? Grumbling, aren't you?
Sabrina couldn't quite understand, but she did like the way the monster was looking at her.
Go away, you!
But Sleeposaurus very hungry.
I don't have anything for you. Go away!
No, Sleeposaurus have will-girl snack.
Suddenly, Sabrina realized that the monster was about to eat her.
So, naturally, she did what came naturally.
She lied.
Listen, Mr. Soft, I'm just a kid. But if you come with me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
Sleeposauruses are not all that bright, so the beast decided to follow Sabrina.
They hadn't gotten very far before they heard a horrible snitching sound.
Only two beasts make that sniffing sound. The hornless snitch deadly slombat. Unfortunately, a deadly slombat swooped upon Sabrina and the Sleeposaurus. Screech! Screech!
That's the sound the slombat makes right before it eats its prey.
Wait, stop! If you promise not to eat me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
That's how slombats say, okay. So, Sabrina went on her way with the Sleeposaurus and the slombat following close behind.
It wasn't long before they heard loud noises up ahead.
A gargantuan and a frankenpicker were fighting over a franken that the frankenpicker had just picked.
He want Frankens, gar, gar, gar. I'm offering for it, quack, quack, quack.
The gargantuan was winning because, well, he was a gargantuan.
But when the gargantuan saw a tasty morsel walking toward him, he dropped the franken and licked his big, greedy lips.
Stop! I know what you want, but if you promise not to eat me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
So, the gargantuan and the frankenpicker joined the Sleeposaurus and the slombat following Sabrina along the edge of Hodgepogde Court. Soon, they felt a rumbling beneath their feet.
Meaner, gongor.
Oh no!
What's a gongor?
But she didn't have to wait for an answer because a gongo rose up from the ground in front of her with a snoodle on his back.
Snoodle snoot up straps from Gongor's feet.
Swap, swap, swap.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, Mr. Gongboy. I can show you and your little friend where there's something really good to eat.
So, the Gongor and the Snoodle joined the other monsters, closely following Sabrina's footsteps.
Maybe a little too closely.
Soon, they came up to a little stream. A fumigator was crouched near the edge trying to catch a grigma, who was also trying to catch him.
Fumigators have nasty breath which paralyzes their prey.
Grigmas have slimy tentacles that suck out brains. Coffin, 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 coffin. Shubbity shop, shubbity shop. Suddenly, the fumigator smelled Sabrina. Walk.
Wait, if you promise not to eat me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
So, the fumigator and the grigma gave up their battle and trudged along behind Sabrina with all of the other monsters.
Next, they came upon a schnauzerus and a planker playing Tissel-Tossel. Tissel-Tossel is a game that is played by throwing a dodo bug up in the air and trying to make it land on your opponent.
Dodo bugs usually do not like this game.
Ow, my aching blackle!
The planker saw Sabrina first. That's how plinkers say lunch.
I don't know what munchin' fluffin' means, but if you come with me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
So, the schnauzerus and the plinker stopped their game to follow Sabrina.
But the plinker grabbed the dodo bug so that they could resume their game later. It wasn't long before they ran into a Hodgepogde scolding her children. Never twinkle the waffle. You always go there.
Hodgepogde's brains are in their tails.
And she was right. Lobsters love Hodgepogde tails. Hodgepogde children always listen to their mothers.
Girls are Hodgepogde's favorite food.
Oh no, not again. Look, if you promise not to eat me, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
So all of the Hodgepogdes followed Sabrina too, taking special care to keep their tails away from the other monsters.
Sabrina was starting to get very nervous.
She now had a pack of monsters following her, and she still had a mile to go before she reached Wisewell's cottage. And she knew she wasn't taking them to a place where there was something good to eat.
Sabrina was starting to wish that she had followed her mother's advice.
But she didn't really have much time to think because there was suddenly a loud clattering sound. Quack, quack, quack. What's that?
Probably a munchin'.
He was right. Munchin' Munchins are incredibly loud, but they are also terribly small.
Unfortunately for Sabrina, they are also known for eating 3 times their weight in food.
Quack, quack, quack. You're a little tummy. Wait, you were just a little thing.
Who?
she followed along too.
It's a weird story.
They hadn't gotten very far when they heard a strange twinkling sound up ahead. Twang! Twang! Twang!
It was the sound of the needlemonger dropping his needles.
They shed all along. The needlemonger saw Sabrina and gave himself one big shake, sending needles flying in all directions.
Twang! 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 Look, you needle thing. I know you're going to want to eat. But if you come along, I'll show you where there is something really good to eat.
So, the needlemonger followed along too.
But the other monsters pushed the poor shedding monsters to the back of the line. Suddenly, Sabrina saw a monster up ahead who was bouncing up and down.
It was an oxen jumper, and he was jumping back and forth over a rumble net.
Who did not look happy about it. Boing! Boing!
Me tummy's wobbling. Hey, what? You go for lunch?
The oxen jumper stopped boinging, and the rumble net's tummy rumbled.
Wait, if you promise not to eat me, I'll take you to a place where there is something really good to eat.
So, the oxen jumper bounced along behind Sabrina, and the rumble net followed too, his tummy wumbling the whole way.
Soon they came upon a petrifier who was trying to petrify a tickleator who was trying to tickle the petrifier. Petrifiers can freeze any creature with their stare, except for tickleators.
This is extremely annoying for petrifiers.
Whoa, no. Petrifier.
What's that?
Woo won't want to know.
That's when the petrifier saw Sabrina and froze her with her stare.
Whoa, please, whoa, girl. She's taking us somewhere good to eat.
But we hungry.
We are hungry. The girl took us somewhere good.
So the petrifier unfroze Sabrina and followed along with the tickleator.
Finally, they reached Wisewell's cottage at the edge of Hodgepogde forest.
Wait here. I'll be right out with something good to eat.
Sabrina entered Willa's cottage, where she found her sitting by the fire eating a pot of stew.
Wisewell, I need your help. I didn't listen to my mother, and I went into Hodgepogde forest. And now there's a whole herd of monsters outside waiting for me to give them something good to eat.
Little girls should always listen to their mothers.
Please, can you help me?
You got yourself into this, you can get yourself out.
But you don't understand. They're going to eat me.
You're a clever girl, I'm sure you can figure something out. Sabrina became very worried. She put the basket down and sat on the floor with her head in her hands.
Suddenly, she looked at the basket and got an idea.
Wisewell,
Yes, my dear?
would you mind very much if I kept this basket of yum-yums and brought you more tomorrow?
I don't even like them. Your mother. Yes, you may have them.
Thank you.
Sabrina stepped outside again to face the monsters who were getting very hungry and agitated.
Okay, I'm giving you all something good to eat. But the petrifier has to go first.
So, the petrifier went to the front of the line, and Sabrina pulled her aside.
Listen, Mr. Petrifier, I have a basket full of yum-yums here. I can give you just one, but if you want the whole basket, you can petrify the rest of the monsters and have it all to yourself.
The petrifier didn't even blink. He turned around and cast his icy gaze on all of the monsters, who instantly froze in place.
She plunged herself down and gobbled up all the yum-yums, and Sabrina turned to run all the way home.
With the tickleator tickling her the entire way.
Tickleators don't eat little girls. They only eat little boys. Sabrina didn't mind being tickled all the way home.
She never set foot in Hodgepogde Forest ever again.
And we'd like to say that she always listened to her mother from that day forward. But we don't like to tell lies. She is a kid after all.
So that explains it.
Yeah, it totally does. No wonder we have all those strange monster statues at our camp. So, Landon, where exactly did you find that book?
Well, I found it in this weird rusty box in the back of the attic.
Keep going. So what did it look like?
It had this strange lock on it that said open with caution.
Oh no. I hope nothing bad happens tonight. Yeah, me too. Anyways, campers, please look to your cabin leaders for further instructions.
I hope you enjoyed our first campfire together.
See you all back at the fence.
Bye.
Bye.